Right now at 6, we have the latest details on a stabbing in Chicago that resulted in 1 death and the hospitalization of 19 others overnight.
And high hopes for this holiday weekend. After a slow start, businesses in the Dells are ready for a mid-season turnaround.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and happy 5th of July.
We've made it to Friday. Christina Laurie and Dave Caulfield in as the ladies that are normally on the desk are off this morning. Much deserved day off as well.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm glad I'm not doing this whole show by myself. That's a long 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we responded to your Evite. That's actually how we need to show up today. So it was tasteful. It was tasteful.
It was. It was very
That would
tasteful.
be funny if that's how we communicate.
Yeah,
That would be. That'd be
no
crazy.
schedule, just Evites.
See how many times people actually show up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You gotta grab the attention somehow, and we've had attention-grabbing weather, that's for sure. Over the last week or so, it kind of feels like the whole world is our water park with how much humidity is in the air. We have one more day of heat and humidity before some more comfortable air arrives this weekend. But that sunshine definitely showing up for the 5th of July in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam. Temperatures at 72 right now in Madison at the 6 o'clock hour, 70 in Janesville, 72 in Boscobel, and 68 in the Dells. That is a touch warmer than we were at this time on the 4th of July, especially closer to Lake Michigan. With that humidity still in place, we have some areas of patchy, dense fog, like in Lone Rock, where visibility is less than a quarter of a mile. Mineral Point and Platteville are visibility down to 4 miles. So keep that in mind early this morning. That fog should be out of here pretty quickly. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours, we'll see really not too much in the way of wind today, but temperatures will be back in the mid 80s, and with that humidity, it will feel like the 90s for much of this afternoon and evening. Now let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. We have our traffic cameras on shuffle here, so we're looking at Fish Hatchery Road and the Beltline now moving to Park Street. Really, no matter where you look across southern Wisconsin, specifically Dane County and the Beltline, we're looking pretty good on the roadways. It is part of a holiday weekend after all, so traffic is generally heading out at the posted speeds. No major accidents or incidents to report. Things are looking good from Janesville to the Beltline, 25 minutes with an average speed of around 70 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update.
So quiet out there, I think I saw a tumbleweed going across the Beltline.
Yeah, I don't know. That would have to mean that things are dry outside, which is not the case.
True.
But we will be talking some improving weather in just a few minutes for this weekend.
Improvements are good.
Yes.
All right.
So many lucky folks with a 4-day holiday weekend.
Yeah, they are. Not us.
Enjoy it.
But we're happy to be here. We love our
We'll
jobs.
live through you guys.
Thanks, Dave. Breaking now in the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning, 7 Americans are dead after a helicopter flying from Big Grand K Island to Fort Lauderdale crashed. The cause is still under investigation right now, and the names of the victims haven't been released, but officials have identified them as 4 women and 3 men. CBS This Morning will have much more on this story coming up at 7. Also breaking overnight, 19 people are in the hospital this morning after stabbings at Navy Pier led to a stampede. The Chicago Fire Department says the 3 stabbing victims are in serious to critical condition. It happened after an altercation on the pier, but what caused the initial altercation is still unclear. CFD says 19 others were injured inside Harry Carey's Tavern. CBS 2 reports that none of the stabbing victims are cooperating with police and that officials wouldn't say whether anyone was in jail related to the stabbing.
A 6.4 magnitude earthquake rattled the southern portion of California, reaching as far south as Orange County and as far east as Las Vegas. The epicenter was in the Mojave Desert, more than 150 miles away. Lights swayed inside the KCBS television studio in Los Angeles. The U.S. Geological Survey reported more than 20 aftershocks and counting.
We will continue to be having a lot of aftershocks. This probably has about a 1 in 20 chance that this is not the largest event within the sequence.
Now, this was the largest quake to shake the state since 1999. The mayor of Ridgecrest, California, has declared a state of emergency for their city, which is one of the closest to the epicenter.
In Fort Mill, South Carolina, firefighters had to dodge exploding rockets to douse a fire at a fireworks storage center. Crews spent nearly an hour putting out that fire. Officials couldn't put a dollar value on the fireworks that went off, but said the boxes appeared to be full. The store owner is working with investigators to find out what happened.
More local news now. 3 people are facing charges in a fireworks heist and police chase in southeastern Wisconsin. Investigators say $2,700 worth of fireworks were stolen from Phantom Fireworks in Madison yesterday. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says a deputy later found the vehicle and 3 people, but the driver took off. The chase went on for nearly 15 miles until deputies used spike strips. The suspect's vehicle crashed and eventually all 3 people were taken into custody.
It is 6:05 right now. Some holiday boaters are safe after capsizing on Lake Mendota. The Madison Fire Department Lake Rescue Team responded to a report of a capsized boat just west of Maple Bluff around 2:15 Thursday afternoon. Officials say the sheriff's deputy rescue boat was able to get everyone out of the water safely and no one was injured.
A motorcyclist is seriously injured after a crash on I-39 near DeForest yesterday. The crash happened just after 4:30 p.m. on the 4th of July when traffic started to slow down between 2 motorcyclists. One of them lost control and crashed into the other. A 66-year-old man from Indianapolis was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The other rider was not injured.
Meanwhile, in D.C., President Trump celebrated America's 243rd birthday his way. His Salute to America 4th of July event featured tanks and Navy flyovers. All branches of the armed forces were on hand and celebrated, but some critics say the event focused too much on the president himself and politicized the military. Outside of the event, demonstrators protest conditions at the border detention facilities. The price for the event hasn't been announced, but the flyovers alone cost tens of thousands of dollars an hour. Trump said the price is worth it for what he called the show of a lifetime.
After a rainy start to summer, businesses in Wisconsin Dells are hoping this long 4th of July weekend can bring in some big money. The Dells area raked in more than $500 million in tourism money last summer, but things have been slower this year with all of the rain. Good news, though. Officials at Noah's Ark say the 4th of July is when the summer season tends to pick up, and they're hoping the long weekend leads to a rebound.
Well, for the park, when July 4th falls on a Thursday, people take a 4-day weekend, so it's great for us. And when the weather is as great as it is today, it helps out all the businesses.
Noah's Ark alone is hoping to see about 225,000 visitors during this 4-day holiday weekend. Last weekend, the park had its highest attendance in more than 15 years.
And now to an annual favorite out of Monona. The Wife Carrying Championship had about a dozen participants this year, running over sand and grass, through water hazards, and over other obstacles. The winners get to take home their partner's weight in beer and $5 per pound. This year, the course was especially difficult because of all of the rain we've had. The mud bath was worse than in years past.
It's a really important race for these people, the people that are participating. They've got to have a lot of trust with each other because you can fall and knock over and whatnot. So there's some risk involved. So the couples that are coming through, they're really having to trust each other and make sure they're on the same page in order to actually complete the race.
We fell last year right at the end. Plus the course is really muddy this year, so you never know. You can fall at any time, trip, lose your balance.
So there's a chance. Plus the heat, that doesn't help.
Any tips for the other contestants in years to come?
I don't really want to give that out.
All right.
You don't want to give the tips away. The contest has origins in the 19th century in the area now known as Finland, where people who looted also took part in the questionable practice of abducting local women. For this contest, though, your partner can be any willing participant over the age of 21.
From spouses to strawberries, if you like picking your own berries, you'll want to head out to a local farm soon. Strawberry season officially ends this Sunday, and farmers say this has been the best one yet because of how brutally cold winter was and how wet the summer has been and how that's impacted the crop.
It killed off a lot of the bugs. It killed off a lot of disease. And also we had a really nice snow cover when it was extremely cold, which prevented the plants from freezing out.
Some farms ended their season yesterday, so you'll want to make sure you check online which farms are still open this weekend before you go. Otherwise, you might just have to wait until next year.
So the Wisconsin Farm Bureau says the average summer cookout costs less than $6 per person this year. The Farmers Bureau survey showed 5 common food items decreased in price compared to last year. The most significant ones in the state were ketchup, which is down 18 cents, and pork spare ribs down $1.08. Wisconsin's average summer cookout has $56.47 price tag, which is just 9 cents higher than the national average.
We may be past the 4th of July, but it can still be a scary time of year for our four-legged friends. Local veterinarians say with festivities continuing into the weekend, all of the fireworks going off can cause a lot of stress for our pets. You might notice shaking, pacing, panting, and whining from your pets if someone in your neighborhood is setting off fireworks. You might also see them shut down and become less cheerful.
Unfortunately, it's not just limited to one night now. This seems to be like a 2-week event where people are shooting fireworks off each night, so it's unpredictable when they might happen.
There are some things you can do to make sure your pets stay calm. You can try keeping them in the most soundproofed room of your house and comforting them when they're in distress. If you're outside, make sure they're on a leash so they don't run away if they get scared.
It was even hard going to bed last night with all of the booms around town.
It really was. They didn't take into consideration our bedtimes.
No, nobody cares about us. Hey, it's the 4th of July, one time a year, right? 6:10 right now. Spider-Man Far From Home is a first look into the Marvel Cinematic Universe after the events of Avenger Endgame. And Will Loper is here with a preview of what to expect with the web slinger's latest outing.
And from steamy to stormy to the 70s, Dave will tell us what's in store for the rest of this holiday weekend when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Good morning and happy Friday. I hope you had a great July 4th holiday yesterday, and we saw some great sights in the sky, from fireworks to thunderstorms and even some spectacular sunsets. This picture comes from Sierra from Lake Petenwell in Juneau and Adams County. You can see that gorgeous sunset there and the thunderstorms off in the distance. Thank you so much for sending this in. Speaking of Juneau and Adams County, that's actually where most of the rain fell yesterday. 24-hour precipitation showing about 2 to 3 inches of rain in portions of Adams County, and Marquette and Green Lake counties picking up about 1 to 2 inches of rain. For the rest of us, the showers were pretty spotty, but they did definitely have some downpours with them. A similar situation, I think, could play out today, although not just yet. We have to wait until the afternoon and evening, like we have been over the last few days, for that humidity and heat to build up to get those thunderstorms to form. So this morning should be pretty quiet with mostly sunny skies across southern Wisconsin. So as I mentioned, showers and thunderstorms possible as we get into later today, and some of those could be a little bit on the strong side, especially spots from Madison to the west and northwest. In Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam, maybe a shallow layer of fog there. Also some haze with that humidity still in place on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Just a gorgeous shot in this part of Grant County. Temperatures in Platteville are starting off at 72 degrees at the 6 o'clock hour, 72 in Madison as well, and 70 in Janesville, 68 in the Dells. Dew points are pretty high once again. What else is new across southern Wisconsin with this air mass in place? Upper 60s and low 70s, making it feel pretty uncomfortable outside. But we do see some improvement in the humidity department as we get into this weekend. And with the humidity so high, we will see some areas of patchy fog once again this morning before that burns off later on into the late morning hours. So on Future Track, we notice that we're still pretty quiet for much of this Friday morning, but into Friday afternoon and evening, some more showers and thunderstorms are possible. Again, some of them could be on the strong side with some downpours, maybe some gusty winds in spots. That's basically what we're looking at. Then into the overnight hours and early on Saturday morning, some more showers and thunderstorms could be possible as the atmosphere just keeps wanting to give us rain. So we may have some more downpours early on Saturday and into portions of Saturday afternoon as well before we finally get high pressure to rescue us and give us that sunshine, give us that more comfortable air into town for Sunday, Monday, and for portions of Tuesday before some rain showers are possible into Wednesday with that humidity returning. So that's a look at your weather. For a look at your first alert traffic update, here is Jason Stone. Jason?
Good morning. No issues this morning on the Beltline as drivers are moving at the posted speed limit. Any delay will be on the interchanges. Routes into Madison and around Dane County are clear for travel, and traffic volume downtown is light as motorists are starting to make their way to East Wash. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Dave and Jason, thank you. The Marvel Universe continues this weekend with the fallout from Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home.
We're told that our producer Jake has already seen it 3 times, so apparently he didn't have a lot to do over his day off, and he's a big fan. But if you haven't seen it yet, our Will Loper has a preview of this morning's Loper Report.
What up, dorks?
What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
that reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man.
While on vacation in Europe, Spider-Man has to once again step up to save the world. This time from giant sand, lava, and water creatures.
What do you want, Peter? I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
am Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God. Spider-Man Far From Home is rated PG-13.
Thank you, Will. Time now 6:18. Police in Lufkin, Texas are looking for a woman who licked a carton of Bluebell ice cream and put it back in a Walmart display case. They've released photos of the woman and her companion entering and leaving a Walmart store in Lufkin on June 28th. The same day video of the incident was posted and went viral. Police and Bluebell corporate officials were able to narrow it down to a store in Lufkin, and Walmart says they believe they have recovered the ice cream that was licked. Authorities say they're taking the matter seriously, though. The woman could be facing up to 20 years in prison with federal charges.
This incident is being investigated as a second-degree felony. It's a very serious offense. And if you think about all the implications and how it would affect consumer confidence in the products that you buy, you will understand why the legislature has classified it so highly.
Since the post has gone viral, similar videos of people licking ice cream have surfaced on social media. On behalf of ice cream eaters everywhere, I'm just going to say, please do not do this. And I could hear as I was reading that there was outrage happening behind me in the newsroom.
I just can't even. Who does that? Who ruins ice cream like that?
It's disrespectful.
You know, I prefer the ice cream that actually has this is how much I eat ice cream. That has the little lid, so you like pull the lid off and it has the little, what do you call it, plastic wrapper that's already, so that one didn't have it apparently.
Okay, like a safety seal.
So like a safety seal. So maybe you have to choose the ice cream that has the safety seal. No
Or
offense,
I just
Bluebell,
like
but
mine fresh from Babcock Creamery. They scoop it right out, hand it right to you. I know
There you go.
exactly where it came from.
There you go. I think that's easy. Just get it locally, folks. Support those Wisconsin farmers. All right, well, we might just be trying to ruin your appetite this morning, I guess. First with an ice cream licking, and now there's this. I can't even look at this video. The International Hot Dog Eating Championship. We'll tell you about the winner and just how many dogs he ate coming up. Oof.
And what do a small cup of coffee and today's weather have in common? They're both hot and a little muggy. Dave will tell us more about what's in store for us today after the break on News 3 Now this morning. Sorry about that, folks.
Poor Dave. Welcome back at 6:24 on a Friday morning, and Dave is still recovering from that tease of Christina talking about the coffee, hot and muggy.
Yeah.
I'd just like to apologize for that joke, and I did not write it. I can't take credit for it.
So many calls during the commercial break. And I agree with every one of you, by the way.
Oh,
It's
man.
pretty great.
Yeah, it's like very, very thick out there this morning.
Yeah.
Like you can cut it.
Yeah, that humidity is still with us, that is for sure. And there's still a haze in the atmosphere. One more day, though, of heat and humidity, and then we do get some improvements. So let's take a look at the zoo camera. It's been a bit of a zoo during the break because of that pun. But the Henry Vilas Zoo in Madison, we're looking at lots of sunshine to start us out on this Friday, but we do have some patchy fog. With humidities this high, that is to be expected. So in Lone Rock, visibility actually less than a quarter of a mile. 5-mile visibility in Mineral Point, in Madison at 7, and we're still looking pretty good in Janesville. So just keep this in mind over the next couple of hours as the fog starts to burn off later on in the morning. So temperatures are starting off in the upper 60s and low 70s across southern Wisconsin. Oh boy, dew points are near 70 once again. What else is new, unfortunately? So this oppressive humidity is still with us, but it does get better pretty soon. This morning, temperatures will rise from the 70s into the 80s, partly sunny, warm, and humid as we get into this afternoon. A few showers and thunderstorms once again possible. Highs will make it into the mid-80s, but it will feel like the 90s at times. And then for tonight, mild, muggy with some fog. Once again, possible late temperatures falling into the upper 60s. And that is your First Alert forecast.
Thanks, Dave. The Milwaukee Brewers are in Pittsburgh this morning getting ready for a weekend series against the Pirates and hoping to score a run for the first time in 23 innings. The Crew lost to the Reds in Cincinnati yesterday, 1-0. Brandon Woodruff had a great start for the team, allowing only 1 run in 6 innings, but that 1 run held up as the Brewers offense could not get going. Reds pitcher Luis Castillo held the Brewers hitless for the first 6 innings. Since the Cubs won in Pittsburgh, it's now a tie for first in the NL Central.
But before that game, the Brewers had a festive surprise for the crowd, and we now know that one of our founding fathers is a Brewers fan. Thomas Jefferson got to deliver the lineup cards for the Brewers before the game yesterday. Okay, so it's not actually one of our founding fathers. It's actually just Jason Schauger, the Brewers equipment manager.
I didn't know TJ was still around.
Looks pretty good.
A former Sun Prairie basketball standout has picked where he'll play college basketball next year. Jalen Johnson is headed to Duke. Johnson was a starter at Sun Prairie, then he transferred to Nicollet, leading the Knights to the Division II state championship this year. Johnson is considered to be the #1 ranked small forward recruit in the entire country and the #4 ranked player overall. He picked Duke over Kentucky, Arizona, and unfortunately his home state Badgers.
Womp womp. All right, 627. So you may want to turn your head away if your stomach can't fathom this next thing of people stuffing their faces. I can't do it. I just can't do it. But this guy can certainly stomach it. In fact, Joey Chestnut is a professional. This is Chestnut's 12th win at this year's Nathan's Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest at Coney Island in Brooklyn.
So Joey ate 71 whole hot dogs in just 10 minutes, taking home the coveted mustard belt. The 35-year-old's nickname is Jaws, aptly titled. He actually holds the record for eating the most in this competition. Last year, he ate 74 hot dogs and buns. So this year was a little bit of a letdown, only 71.
71 hot dogs.
So if you had to participate in a food eating championship, what would you?
It'd definitely be pie.
Pie. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
we were just talking about Norski's Nook here a little bit ago because you're asking me if I've ever been there.
Yeah, but you have your chance. You know, Pie Day. Every March 14th, we always have a competition, and you've never seen this guy participate, so I think this is all talk.
I don't know. Oh, wow.
Threw down the gauntlet.
We'll see about that. No, I think I could down some pie. I could down cookies, too.
Okay.
So
I feel
we'll
like
anything sweet.
I could take down a bread basket challenge.
You could do that.
I think I could do it.
You and your bread. You like your bread.
I do. Carb girl.
No hot dogs, though. All right, 628 right now. So running the AC all summer might run up the bill. Coming up, we're discussing some strategies to cut down on the impact to your wallet. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. We thank you for waking up with us on this Friday, July 5th. Leah and Hattie are off this morning, so I've got Christina and Dave helping me out a little bit. So thanks for being here.
It's great to be here. We'll have your out-the-door forecast in just a minute, but first, here are the top 3 things you need to know as you start your day. A motorcyclist is seriously injured after a crash on I-39 near DeForest yesterday. That crash happened just after 4:30 in the afternoon when traffic started to slow down between 2 motorcyclists. One of them lost control and crashed into the other. A 66-year-old man from Indianapolis was taken to the hospital. He has life-threatening injuries. The other rider was not injured.
Our second big story of the morning, 19 people are hospitalized after stabbings at Navy Pier created a stampede overnight in Chicago. Officials say 3 stabbing victims are in serious or critical condition. Chicago investigators originally said 1 person was shot, but that is not yet known on this case. CFD says 16 others are injured because of a stampede that happened as a result of those stabbings.
And the third story we're monitoring, President Trump's Salute to America 4th of July event in the country's capital featured tanks and Navy flyovers. All branches of the armed forces were on hand and celebrated, but some critics say too much attention was put on the president himself and not the country. The price tag for the event hasn't been announced, but the flyovers alone cost tens of thousands of dollars an hour.
All right, those were the top 3 things you need to know this morning, and Dave's here with what you need to know on that forecast and traffic. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Josh and Christina. That humidity still with us for this Friday, and for the morning, you will be able to feel it as you step outside. And at least we have the sunshine with us in Madison to start us off on this Friday on the WISC-TV Skycam. But with the humidity still high, we're going to see some areas of patchy fog, and that's the case this morning. Visibility less than a quarter of a mile in Lone Rock, at 3 miles in Platteville, 7 in Madison and the Dells. So just keep that in mind over the next few hours, especially that you may run into some areas of fog. Temperatures are starting off in the upper 60s and low 70s. And we have one more day of heat and humidity to get through. So temperatures will rise through the 80s into the mid 80s by later this afternoon, with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. So we'll need that umbrella, especially for this afternoon and evening. Then some more showers and storms possible at times on Saturday, before we get some dry weather Sunday and Monday. So let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. No major accidents or incidents to report across Dane County and areas along and near the Beltline. Traffic is generally heading out at the posted speeds. Oregon to the Beltline, that's 7 minutes on 14 with an average speed of around 70 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update.
Dave, thank you. Some Madison moms are donating old baby clothes to migrant children in Arizona. It all started with an email from one college friend to another asking for baby clothes. A volunteer at a migrant shelter in Tucson, Arizona reached out asking for clothing donations, and she was more than willing to send some. Maggie Musgrave reached out to other moms in the community, and after gaining 400 pounds of donations, they decided to keep the project going.
Just as people of the world, we need to care about what is happening on our border, because these are humans, these are babies, these are children, and they need our support. We can't just stand by and watch this happen. We all need to step up and do something, and this is a way to do that.
There are 3 ways people in Madison can help their cause. The first, by donating clothes at any one of the 3 YMCA branches, donating money to their GoFundMe page, or you can also purchase items from their Amazon wish list.
Today marks 9 years since Wisconsin's public smoking ban first went into effect. 2009's Act 12 banned smoking in enclosed places that are places of employment or considered public. It went into effect on July 5th of 2010. It was a proposal surrounded in controversy, partially because the ban also included places like bowling alleys, restaurants, and bars, all places that previously were exempt from public smoking bans. Before the ban, more than $2.5 billion was spent on healthcare costs related to smoking. We've had such a hot week, which means our AC and their repair companies are working overtime to make sure your air conditioner stays in good shape. A simple thing you can do is allow your unit to breathe both inside and outside. Changing the filters once a month prevents clogged filters, which can break your unit. Keeping the space around the outside part of the unit is also important. Now, the USDE recommends you use these temperature settings for your AC to save energy costs, although I feel like my grandma might have had something, she might have helped craft these numbers. Your AC to save energy costs, they recommend keeping it at 85 degrees when you're at work or away, 82 degrees while you're sleeping, and 78 degrees when you're just at home. I could never sleep.
82 degrees? Are you kidding me?
When you're outside, you're in a tank top and shorts. Are you supposed to?
I feel like I'd be sleeping in my own pile of sweat at 82 degrees.
I like the blankets. My ideal 71-ish.
Yeah, that's actually 71 is what I keep it at overnight, usually 73 to 75 during the day.
Great minds think alike.
There you go. And we need to sleep because obviously we're on this shift. So
we do.
6:37, no more pencils, no more books. Freedom from the classroom is every child's favorite part of summer vacation.
But being out of the classroom can result in a loss of up to 1.5 months of learning. We're talking strategy on how to keep your kid engaged during the dog days of summer when News 3 Now This Morning continues.
.40 on a Friday morning, and Laura is sharing a good one for us. She says the whole neighborhood was pink when she took this picture.
Thanks for sharing this with us, Laura. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it up on our Channel 3000 Facebook page or up on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll share our favorites right here on News 3 Now This Morning. Well, it's safe to say math and summer don't exactly go hand in hand for many of us. The reason, parents and kids too tend to not think about math outside of the classroom. While reading is often and hopefully part of a family's daily life, math routines don't have the same allure. That causes students to lose an average of more than 2.5 months of learning in math over the summer, according to Harvard Graduate School of Education research. Come fall, teachers then have to give up weeks of class time or more to counteract that loss. Here are 4 ways you can help your kid beat the summer math slump. First, find the math in everyday activities. When shopping, help your kids calculate change or discounts. When watching baseball or other sports, talk about what stats mean. Second, read short math stories together. We have several suggestions up on our website. And third, play games. Yahtzee, Racco, Monopoly all rely on math skills like counting and categorizing. Finally, find small ways to practice at home. We're not talking worksheets here. Something as simple as a problem of the day calendar is a great way to practice on a smaller scale. Well, time now, 6:41. July 3rd officially kicked off the dog days of summer, and I think we're finally starting to feel it. Coming up, Dave's got our out-the-door holiday weekend forecast. That's just ahead on News 3 Now this morning.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back at 6:45 on a Friday morning, and check out that sunrise shot.
It's gorgeous.
Here
In the
comes-
words of Leah Lynchide.
There you go.
Beautiful sunrises across southwestern Wisconsin. Is that what we love?
Southwestern. Yeah, the 4 counties that she calls home.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's watching this morning. We're just going to make fun of her all
We're
morning.
roasting her. Sorry, Leah. Sorry.
And the other person we love to make fun of or make fun with is meteorologist Dave Caulfield in the Weather Center for Miss Hattie McLean this morning. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Josh and Christina. And I have had to resort to making fun of this weather to get through this humidity because it really can puff up the hair and kind of dampen the spirits and dampen everything else in your house for that matter. But we will see some improvement when it comes to the humidity in just a few days or so. So that's good news. If we are traveling to enjoy maybe the rest of the holiday weekend with family across the country, a lot of thunderstorms still for the upper Midwest and actually into the Ohio Valley as well. Big heat as well to the south. We're in the lower to middle 90s for from Memphis to San Antonio, and also maybe some better weather closer to New York City. Pam's not in this morning, otherwise she'd probably call me New York City Dave. Travel weather for today, a little bit closer to home. We do have those chances for showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening. Humid once again with temperatures in the 80s. So we'll be in the 80s today. We typically for this time of year should be in the low 80s, right around 82 degrees for our high temperature, but we're actually going to be a little bit below normal as we head into this weekend, and the humidity finally takes a bit of a break, takes a little bit of a vacation. So it feels more comfortable by the time, especially as we get into Sunday and Monday, the humidity does return for the middle of next week, along with temperatures in the mid 80s. So on Weather Track, we've been pretty quiet for the last 6 hours or so. We did have a few showers move out of here and die out and dissipate over the last couple of hours, but really we've been pretty quiet, and I think we'll remain that way into this morning. But by the afternoon and evening, you guessed it, folks, more showers and thunderstorms are possible. We are in the low 70s in Madison and for much of southern Wisconsin, but we do have dew points in the upper 60s and low 70s as well. So that means some patchy fog is possible this morning. Also means we're off to another humid start. So really tough to be outside for longer periods of time until we get into the afternoon of Saturday. So as I mentioned, some patchy fog in spots. Visibility down to 7 miles in Madison, 3 miles in Dubuque, Iowa. In Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam, the visibility not bad enough so we can't see this gorgeous sunrise on the tower camera in this part of Dane County. Madison at 72 degrees, that humidity already into the 90th percentile with dew points close to 70. So on Future Track, those showers and thunderstorms starting to pop up once again into the early afternoon and evening hours. By the time we get to early on Saturday morning, even more showers and thunderstorms could be possible with that humidity not quite done with us yet. So overnight, a few downpours are possible in spots, and then a few more showers and thunderstorms. It just keeps on coming, these rain chances. But we do see some changes by the time we get to later on Saturday. As we take a look at that 10-day forecast, we can see that dry weather visits us on Sunday and Monday for much of Tuesday as well. But the important thing here, folks, is it's going to be dry in the sky and also in the air around us. So much more comfortable air in town by the time we get to Sunday and Monday with highs near 80. I've been so excited with that part of the forecast that really I haven't paid much attention to anything else because I'm just waiting. I'm counting down the hours at this point to get to some more comfortable air, because I just can't, everything in your apartment or house in this type of weather, just you pick it up and you're like, did I just get this out of the washer? Like it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, the worst is like, well, you got glasses, or if you have sunglasses, you get out of like the car and you get out and it's just like right away.
Can't see anything. Actually a hazard. We actually shouldn't be joking about it.
No, it's like serious stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, everyone's looking forward to some more pleasant weather.
And this doesn't have to do with weather.
Oh,
but
cool.
I already asked Josh, and I
Okay.
asked you if you had to participate in a food eating competition, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. I should have probably thought about this. Just off the top of my head, pasta.
Oh, yes.
I'm part Italian, so I feel like that gives me a leg up. But you mentioned bread, and I would like to take you on in bread. Either bread sticks or just
Yeah, what are we going,
just
Olive
full
Garden?
loaves. I mean, if they'll sponsor us.
Let's do it. Maybe the station will.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
All right, thanks, Dave. Stay with us for the morning sprint up next.
It's 6:53, time now for the morning sprint as we get your day started with everything you need to know about what's happening on this long holiday weekend.
We start this morning with breaking news overnight out of the Bahamas, where 7 Americans are dead after a helicopter flying from the Big Grand Cay Island to Fort Lauderdale crashed. The cause is still under investigation. The names and the victims haven't been released, but officials have identified them as 4 women and 3 men. CBS This Morning will have much more on the story starting at 7.
19 people are hospitalized after stabbings at Navy Pier created a stampede overnight. Officials say 3 stabbing victims are in serious to critical condition. Chicago investigators originally said 1 person was shot, but that is now known to be false. The Chicago Fire Department says that 16 others were injured because of a stampede that happened as a result of those stabbings.
A 6.4 magnitude earthquake rocked the southern part of California, reaching as far south as Orange County and as far east as Las Vegas. The epicenter was in the Mojave Desert, but more than 150 miles away, lights swayed inside the WISC-TV studio in LA. The U.S. Geological Survey reported more than 20 aftershocks and counting.
Police in Texas are looking for a woman who made headlines after a video of her licking a carton of Bluebell ice cream, put it back on a Walmart display case, went viral. They've released photos of the woman and her companion entering and leaving a Walmart store in Lufkin on June 28th. Authorities say they're taking the matter seriously. The woman could be facing up to 20 years in prison with federal charges.
We have one more warm and humid day to get through before more comfortable air arrives this weekend. Temperatures are starting off in the low 70s by the time we get to this afternoon. Another day in the mid 80s for highs, but it will feel like the 90s at times. We could also see some more showers and thunderstorms by the time we get to this afternoon and evening.
Dave, thank you. To our nation's capital now, where President Trump's Salute to America 4th of July event featured tanks and Navy flyovers. All branches of the armed forces were on hand and celebrated, but some critics say too much attention was put on the president himself and not the country. The price tag for the event hasn't been announced, but the flyovers alone cost tens of thousands of dollars an hour.
A motorcyclist is seriously injured after a crash on I-39 near DeForest yesterday. That crash happened just after 4:30 in the afternoon when traffic started to slow down between 2 motorcyclists. One of them lost control and crashed into the other. A 66-year-old man from Indianapolis was taken to the hospital. He has life-threatening injuries. The other rider, however, was not injured.
Some Madison moms are donating old baby clothes to migrant children in Arizona. Maggie Musgrave reached out to other moms in the community, and after gaining 400 pounds of donations, they decided to keep the project going. There are 3 ways people in Madison can help to their cause. The first, you can donate clothes at any one of the YMCA branches. You can also donate money to the GoFundMe page or also purchase items from their Amazon wish list.
3 people are facing charges in a fireworks heist and police chase in southeastern Wisconsin. Investigators say $2,700 worth of fireworks were stolen from Phantom Fireworks in Addison yesterday. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says a deputy later found the vehicle and the 3 people after a chase ensued. All 3 people were taken into custody.
If you like picking your own strawberries, you'll want to head out to the farm soon. Strawberry season comes to a close this weekend, and farmers say this has been one of the best one yet because of the brutally cold winter and wet summer have impacted the crop. Some farms ended their season yesterday, so make sure to check online which farms are still open this weekend before you go.
The Milwaukee Brewers are in Pittsburgh this morning getting ready for a weekend series against the Pirates and hoping to score a run for the first time in 23 innings. The Crew lost to the Reds in Cincinnati yesterday 1-0. They've lost 3 straight and haven't scored since the 6th inning on Tuesday. They're still tied for first place in the NL Central after the Cubs beat the Pirates yesterday.
6:57 now. Let's turn over to Jason Stone with a final look at your first alert traffic. Hi, Jason.
Hello. Drivers are at the posted speed limit on the Beltline. The only delay coming on the Stoughton Road interchange. And John Nolan is clear from Beltline to the Capitol Square. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thanks, Jason.
And here's a last look at your drive times this morning and also at a beautiful sunrise in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. Don't let that fool you, though. It's going to be another hot and humid day across southern Wisconsin with temperatures in the 70s to start off this morning, eventually in the mid-80s with another chance of showers and thunderstorms. But improvements arrive this weekend with more comfortable air moving into southern Wisconsin.
I'm going to need to bring back out my coat for Sunday.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great weekend.